So you may know a guy called Fundy. Some time ago he made impossible challenges and the cursed one. Oh boy, this one may lead you to insanity.
But recently Fundy released a new difficulty so hard that I must agree, nobody is beating this, the cursed difficulty.
There were YouTubers who wanted to beat the challenge, but only few did. Fundy is gonna sing for that today. Hello Squirrels, welcome to Squirrel Game Dev. If you ever possibly thought about killing Fundy for the pain he made you while speedrunning his challenges, that means you're a psycho, but I may partly satisfy you. Today we'll do something more interesting, and I want you to choose the Fundy's punishment. Just pick one option. Will it be horror number 1 or number 3? Hey silly foxy, could you be please that nice? And don't need one work. Pick the one quick. I know you'd like it, but no. Today will be the number 1, cause it's better for this video's topic. We'll draw Fundy from a tower and watch him fall down forever and forever with that. You'll see it in my... Yeah, it's connected with the previous video, so make sure you watch it too. If you're interested in creating flying foxes, like, subscribe for more. We are almost about to hit 1 million subscribers, so... well. And note that everything I make is available on the Code Sandbox, and by visiting a link in the description, you can try it all on your own. Unlike in the previous video, I will begin with the final effect. I know that most of you won't be interested in the programming part that much. This time, I got even crazier. But it's not that important for this channel. I don't want you to watch the tutorial, I want you to become the guys who are going to test my games I make on live streams. However, maybe at least some of you are gonna be interested in the more technical part. Anyway, I decided to move it to the end. So I want to introduce you to the Fundy's Tower of Horror with a comfortable wooden piston to swing on. Totally not slippery. If you want the fun to begin, you need to press A on your keyboard or this button in the top right corner. When you do that, the piston hides and Fundy begins to fall down shouting out loud. I made it so the accelerated motion breaks at a specified speed and then it becomes linear. What it means is that Fundy falls with the same steady tempo, which you can synchronize with the music. Yeah, I said with the music. Let's customize some other one. Maybe this time I pick the one I won't get copyright claim from. We open the YouTube and look for sorry the dance storm. We open it and copy its ID from YouTube. This text after equals character. Then we need the tempo measured in beats per minute. Google helps. It was made in 136 BPM, but you can always use some metronome to count it. And that's actually all we need. Now we play both and synchronize them. I did it off camera, and that's the final effect. This animation is more customizable than you may think. Don't you like Fundy's voice? You can change it here. You can change acceleration speed, that means Fundy will gain his speed quicker. I hope you know what to do with this. Let's make Fundy sing to every song in the world. You can post what you've done on my Discord too, link is in the description. And now the how it's made part. This time I decided to mix both theory and coding, so the video is gonna be more interesting. So we're back there, let's write it. As in the previous video, we need to create canvas first. We begin with making a square to simulate the falling motion. This process is almost the same as previously we did, but this time I decided to add try-catch condition, so when we have any errors in the code and browser crashes, I want to restart my recording over and over again. Infinite loop suck. As you can see, I created 2 objects of Fundy this time. You may say why? Because it will be looped. We don't have an infinite screen, nobody invented search already. We want to draw Fundy in a loop. If the first object goes out of the bottom edge of the screen, we want the second one to appear on the top, so it will look like it's coming back. Everything in games is just an illusion. Did I just break apart your little hard-squared cameras? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let's go with that. We need to make the second square be just a screenscape before the first one. You don't see it because it's off the screen, but trust me, it's there. Well, double Fundy square is prepared. We want to make it fall. So the next thing we're gonna think about is the motion we use. In the previous video, we left off the accelerated and we will come back to it in this episode. I said something like accelerated and decelerated. Accelerated describes a movement where we don't actually have any speed in the beginning and we gain it with acceleration in the future. So that's not what we actually want. But today it's perfect because while falling straight down, we begin with no speed and gain it. So we need a physics formula to calculate frames. It turns out the formula we need is almost the same as in the first video, and all we need to do is to change the minus to plus. At least that's what is written down in the most proven source of knowledge. Some of the variables actually mean something else. We need to take a new chart which describes this motion. We see it's still a parabola, but because there is a plus in our formula, it has its arms raised. Also this time we will use only the second part of this motion, because the first part requires a negative time. Can squirrels move back in time? I don't know, tell me that. And as we don't have any initial velocity, we can simplify this formula to such a neat one, where the distance is equal to acceleration times time squared, all this divided by 2. Another useful formula is this one for velocity. You can check many conditions having a current object's velocity. Let's implement it. And the square is falling as expected, but it's still just a square. We need actual frames to render. As Minecraft is a 3D game, we need to get some 3D renderer for this job. At this point, I decided to use Blender. Yeah, I've learned it throughout this week. That's why it took me 2 weeks to prepare this video for you. In Blender, Fundy's animation looks like this. I made it using an add-on called MC Prep from this guy's tutorial. It provided us with a player's rig which we can upload a skin for. This animation is prepared using 49 frames. To render this, we need to place all the frames in the same pivot point. I decided to increase number of frames to 64. Then we render each keyframe as the PNG image with a transparent background. We need to make sure nothing sticks out of the camera. And this is our falling Fundy. We need to upload these images to use them in our game. We do just the same thing as in the previous video, but this time there are more frames which I split into 2 groups. This which should repeat and this which shouldn't, because they are shown only when Fundy starts falling. Also made so all of the repeating frames are divided into 3 separated groups, and one of these groups is shown every third screen. Okay, that's it. But we don't want him to begin falling immediately. For this, I made the next animation, swinging Fundy. He will swing while waiting for the user's interaction. We add him to our animation the same way as the previous one. However, it looks quite weird seeing Fundy swing on nothing. So then I made such a machine in Minecraft. It works like this. A victim holds this piston and the torturer hides it using this lever. Yeah, pulls the lever, and that means the next animation. The animation of hiding piston. This one requires more work than the character's animation. Following strictly the tutorial, I used additional tool to make it. Mineways to convert the map to an object which can be interpreted by MC Prep. Then I loaded the map to Blender. I animated the torturer's rig, so sweet. Lever's handle and the piston. I added some light to the redstone after activating this mechanism. Then it's enough to set the camera and we can render it into PNG sequence. Then the final implementation. We just load and render these frames before Fundy starts falling. The animation is totally ready, but it's silent and has no background. First we're gonna set a background. I just use a static image from Google Images, it provides a nighttime atmosphere. Then the sounds. As the music comes from YouTube, we only need to set some sound effects. We must be sure these sounds can play in a loop. I prepared these 3 samples using Audacity only. First of them is the swinging sample, which I get from some page as free to use sound. Then the piston in sound from Minecraft, and this third one is the most annoying Fundy scream from this guy's compilation. You don't even know how hard it is to find and extract a good sample without any music in the background and without Fundy's mic breakdown. And the full animation is done. You may ask, is this the end? But you made there more things than this. And I will answer you, yeah. But the video's topic is the uniformly accelerated motion. And I showed there even more than this. All the stuff connected with BPM I'm going to cover in the next episodes, and if you don't want to wait, I will use them in the future live streams. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel and you will see the continuation soon. I want to concentrate on some green Minecraft guy whose name begins with Dre and ends on M. It will be a top 1 video on YouTube, I swear. Bye!